Oh no, I missed it last year. That's what's wrong with me.
And we are live.
Cool. Just give me a second to finish this last scheduling.
At least put some music on for folks. Some menu music.
Wait, no, that's Fire Team. Okay, that's that finished. That's that finished. Go away. Okay, so let's pull up the tubes and go have a look. Is Arrow Videos doing a remaster of Lost in Space?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, new 4K release.
You know what? That's one of those films that's like a little guilty pleasure from my childhood, that is.
Yeah, I always thought that as well.
I just love Matt LeBlanc in that fucking helmet that he has.
Oh, the one that like unfolds.
Yeah, the very Stargate-esque thing.
Xenor Fourier, hello. Aaron, I am going to BRB. Give me 2 minutes while you're sharing this around, and I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Welcome, Acid Splash. Pleasure as always. Just bear with me while I do all the boring pouring out of the stream.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
You good to go? We ready? You still sharing?
Yeah, I'm still sharing. Drop that in the Discord.
Aaron, do you have a favorite energy drink?
I just drink Lucasade, I'll be honest.
You drink what?
Lucasade.
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 I don't think we have that here.
Hang on, let me show you. Let me show you while we're on.
That sounds like Gatorade. Is that like... That's like a sports drink, not an energy drink.
In Facebook, mate.
Okay, yeah, fair. Energy drink. And no, we do not have those here.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's the only one I bother with. The lady likes Monster.
We do have monsters here. They are pretty big. That is a big brand.
I'll drink a Red Bull, but only when it's in the middle of a shot of Jaeger.
Jaeger's evil, man. I didn't know you drink Jaeger.
I drink Jaeger. Well, I used to drink Jaeger bombs. It's been a long time since I've been out drinking like that. Now I just sit with a nice bottle of beer as I'm socialising on chat with you or online. or when we record anything. A couple more to go, and then I will boot up the game. Go. Okay. Pony Marines. There we go. I'm launching the game now.
Sweet. Let me switch on over so folks can see.
Close all that down. Okay. Come on, we're getting there. We're getting there. No, do not do a PUBG update, please. There we go. Okay.
It's wild to me that's still one of the most played games on Steam.
Well, it's the OG Battle Royale.
Yep. And they've actually made some good updates. You haven't played it in a long time, have you?
I've played it once or twice over the last 4 or 5 months.
Oh, okay. So you've played it somewhat recently.
Yeah, I had a couple of games with English Adam. Welcome, Kalen. Welcome, Casper.
Kalum, what up?
Alright, drop me an invite, bud.
Okay. Let me do this.
Casper, Japan was wonderful, thank you. I had a very good time. My legs ached from all the stairs. And my belly was happy from all the ramen and wagyu meat. And beer.
Our last mission was the Raven.
Yeah.
We finished that. So we are halfway through the game in our impromptu co-op playthrough of this lovely story. And the next mission is for Bella.
His fan favorite game. Casper, I did not find much AVP stuff over there, unfortunately. What did I find? I saw one scorched NECA figure in one shop, and then I was in a Mandrake in Nakano Broadway, and they had a bit more in there, but it was second-hand stuff, so I was a little hesitant to buy. Which was a shame, because they had like one of those full sets of the Super 7. Super 7? Yeah, Super 7. Super 7 glasses, you know, the old school sort of 70s, 80s, 90s glasses that they did, but it was open.
Mitch, hello, welcome. Casper, I have not seen your Prometheus print, and I know you messaged me on Discord about some Prometheus lore inquiry, and I promise I will get back to you on that. My life has, outside of AVP Galaxy, as Aaron can attest, my life has been a bit of a whirlwind lately, so catching up with other things.
Welcome, Mitch. Welcome, No Style Deutsch, Xander, Alistair.
Welcome, Xander.
I think it's waiting for you to start it, mate.
Did you need to edit your upgrades at all?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Let's do it then.
Casper, what was the Prometheus question? I'm interested to know. I want to know if Adam remembers from his favourite movie.
It was a long question. But Casper, yeah, feel free to send me that pic, and I will forward it to Aaron if you want to show him.
It is cool seeing the
you did send it. Okay, well, I will scroll up and I will fight it.
The dust alone has gunked up the cylinder so bad we're barely moving. We walk.
Yeah, sorry. Life, be busy and stuff, but I I will find it.
2 weeks ago.
I know. Well, it's been a while, 2 weeks for me, okay?
Military shot.
It would not be an exaggeration to say I ran from gunfire in the last few weeks.
How long have you been that one for? I thought that was just daily life in America, mate.
Well, I got that American experience finally.
Or were you just not expecting it, not being school age anymore?
Well, I was lucky enough that it wasn't quite a thing back when I was in... We're already starting with a dark topic, aren't we? Back when I was going to school, we did not have, like, active shooter drills when I went to school. We had fire drills. So that was a little bit after my time, at least in that school.
What the hell is so? My perspective is bugging out.
Yeah, you're looking a little choppy on my end, your character.
What can we say? It's such a brilliant, well put together game.
Yeah. Is it still bugging out for you?
Well, I haven't tried shooting it yet, so I'll have to say. Oh, Casper.
The alien was eating somebody. He was munching on this guy on the rock. I've never noticed that before.
What do you think about aliens eating?
I mean, to me, it seems... Okay, I know this is a hot topic, right? I remember I was on Perfect Organisms, Should a Predator Be an Alien podcast recently. And Patrick was like, I never like seeing an alien eating because it takes away from the mystery. But we've seen it a number of times. I mean, we saw it pretty definitively in Alien 3, in AVPR, it's been in the comics multiple times.
I don't think it was definitive in AVP 3.
Oh, yeah, and even Ripley says... Even Ripley says I should have been lunch.
I don't know if she meant it. It's quite so literally.
Well,
I mean,
in AVPR it was pretty...
Yeah.
In AVPR
That's
it was
never
pretty
a good
definitive.
argument.
And in AVP2, the game, like, one of your objectives is to eat small animals to grow faster.
And it's how you get health in the game.
So I've always been of the personal headcanon opinion that aliens eat for satisfaction and to grow faster and to heal, but they do not need to eat to survive. So that is my personal opinion on the matter. What do you think, Aaron?
It's never been something that has bothered me either way. Truth be told. I don't think it demystifies them. Although the idea that they get their energy some other way is a bit more interesting. Like maybe that's why they have acid for blood, and that's a different way for them to break down materials and get energy and metabolize that way. Could be a bit more interesting.
Yeah, you're sounding a little choppy on my end, and you're looking a little choppy too.
I'm certainly bugging out a little bit. My perspective is bad.
I hope it's not something with your internet, because I'm hearing it over comms too.
Make sure it's not downloading anything.
Xander says, wow, throwing shade at PO. Kidding. It was awesome having you on. No shade was thrown. I was just saying, I was using that as an example to say that opinions vary on that topic of aliens, should they be shown eating or not. But yeah, I always like being a guest on that PO podcast.
No Star Dutch says, I have that PO episode downloaded, but have been avoiding it because I'm just worried it'll be a hate fest with the idea of AVP becoming official.
Well, that's what I'm on there for, is to defend that idea.
I don't think it was a hate-filled episode. I thought it was very well.
You listened to it?
Of course, I listen to all the fucking alien podcasts.
Oh, well, good. Okay, you're sounding less choppy now. Were you downloading something?
Yeah, it was still downloading that update for PUBG. Even though I'd paused it, but it's restarted back up.
Oh yes, I saw you were joking, Sander. And yes, you should have Aaron on for more. Aaron was joking. They never ask me on these days.
It's been a long time since I've been on.
Yeah, and I've guested on quite a few of them at this point, so it's probably Aaron's turn.
No, it's fine. You're the golden boy these days.
Oh no. No, I will never reach your status, Aaron. You were the OG. Man, my health is getting pretty low now.
Didn't you grab the armor earlier?
Yep, I did. But I've had a lot of acid thrown my way since then.
I like the spitters in this. The design of the spitters in this. I still think all aliens should have the acid spit as a ranged attack, but as a, you know, as an entirely different unit with its own design, I actually quite like them.
Yeah,
in
this
Colonial Marines.
This game kind of introduced that concept, didn't it? I think they were an upgrade in AVP Extinction.
Yeah, AVP Extinction had it in the, was it like the Chrysalis drones or something like that? Did any of the other games do it? I can't remember.
Fireteam Elite did it after this. Which I liked how they looked in this. Like, I got the action figure from Square Enix for this one.
Oh,
and the Hiya Toys one. And they both look pretty cool. But I kind of prefer the Fireteam Elite design for the spitters.
I don't know. I kind of like it more here. I enjoy a good crest. I do have the Fireteam Elite figure. That's only because I missed out on the Hiya Toys stuff that they did.
Well, Square Enix did a really nice Spitter Alien figure from Colonial Marines that was like a big, kind of NECA-sized figure.
If I've ever seen that one. No Star Dutch says, imagine if we got a director like Alex Garland to do AVP, him specifically. I don't think it will happen, but somebody of that ilk, an AVP movie with artistic ambition could be amazing. Have you seen 28 Weeks? Yeah.
28 years, you mean?
28 years, yeah, sorry.
Yes, I quite enjoyed it. It's one of those movies where I could see it would be a bit divisive, but I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see where they take it. And just like the original 28 Days Later, they did some interesting things with the cinematography, with it being on iPhones and all that, but just looking incredible. It was just a really experimental movie. Have you seen that one yet, or no?
Not yet. I need to go watch it next week,
Yeah.
I think.
I thought it was really good.
Oh yeah, Nostalgic says been playing AVP 2010. They can confirm it has spitters. Yeah, the runners spit acid in that, don't they?
Yeah,
Or
the
jungle aliens.
But they didn't have like a designated spitter design look where you can see the glowy stuff and all that. Xenosaurian, welcome.
Too late to unvolunteer for this mission.
Schwip says, I hear somebody thinks Colony War is real good.
Aaron, did you ever write a review for Colony War? Because
Yes.
Okay, you did.
That was the last one, last review I wrote for ages.
That's why you don't write reviews anymore. That book turned you off from it.
Well, that and you know how I feel about this decade.
I'm sorry, man.
It sapped a lot of my energy and life.
I got point from here, so we don't alert every Z.
Yeah, I can feel that. Well, that's why we run around and kill aliens in space, right?
What were we waiting on?
Uh,
Oh, Bella.
yeah.
The AI to do something.
Open the door, Bella.
I was kind of, speaking of Japan, I was kind of disappointed I didn't see more of the, the sort of Asian brands over there. Because I would have liked to have found some of their stuff, but it was what it was.
Yeah, I would love to go to Japan. I feel bad for missing this arcade that looked really cool. That was kind of themed off the Kowloon walled city. So the inside of the arcade just looked very industrial, like an old city street. And it just looked so awesome. It closed, unfortunately. But Japan just sounds so cool.
It is fun. I very much enjoy it. I don't enjoy any of the travelling to get there.
Xenosaurian says, have you heard the news about Ridley Scott leaving the Alien franchise? Yes. I think this was a comment he made recently, right, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. I think I've done enough for Alien. I think I've done enough.
And I would agree with him on that.
Yeah, he can keep paying the bills. Casper says new Jurassic World movie just came out. Yeah, Adam likes that a lot more than I do. I think it's the Prometheus of the Jurassic Park franchise.
I thought Jurassic World was the Prometheus of the Jurassic Park franchise. If anything, this to me felt closer in tone to the original Jurassic Park trilogy than the series has felt in a long time. I had my issues with it. Like, ultimately, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So it was kind of like Romulus for me, where it's like, I like it, I don't love it, but my liking of it is enthusiastic because the last ones really didn't do it for me. So I admit it certainly has its faults, but I think it was really beautifully shot. I liked how they shot it on film, which they haven't done since JP3. It was just really well executed. The plot was a little simplistic, but sometimes you just, you can have a simple but effective plot, like Mad Max Fury Road kind of does that. This movie's not to the level of Mad Max Fury Road, but I thought it was fine. Like, I thought it was decent, which is, again, more than I'd say for the last 3.
I thought it was boring. I thought all the characters were dumbasses.
How do you feel about bottomless pits into dying
It
planets?
was like a 5 out of 10 for me.
There were some people doing dumb things in the movie. Fully admit that, for sure.
I'd much rather watch Jurassic World. Shrip says, have you all read Seventh Circle yet?
I have not. I think Aaron has.
Yeah, I think I've read it twice now. Or once.
And you liked it?
I enjoyed it.
I've heard mixed things, though. People said, like, it didn't follow up with a... Like, it wasn't a proper sequel to Inferno's Fall.
In so much as it doesn't pick up directly with the... it doesn't pick up directly with the bombing. The border bombers. It's more of a sequel about what's-her-face, May.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as I liked...
Getting my weekly update on the construction origin facility.
Inferno's Fall. I was blanking on the title there. I didn't like it as much as Inferno's Fall. I still think Inferno's Fall is some of the best character work in the entire Titan line. I've not read Uncivil War yet, though. I heard pretty poor things about that one, and I've not had the enthusiasm to give it a go yet. I will do, because I'm going to read them. I'll always read them all, because I'll make my own opinions. But I've certainly had a lack of enthusiasm.
How do we get to the gun, Aaron?
I don't know.
Or do
There's
we
a
just,
vent over here.
avoid the gun? Rebirth is
Do you
more
need
like...
any health? How's yours?
I could use a little bit.
There's a health box there.
Well, thank you, thank you.
We can jump up here. Well, that gets over.
Xenosaurian says, agrees with you. It's 5 out of 10 for me, but they weren't a big fan of Rebirth or Romulus.
And I will firmly stand by Romulus. I adore that film.
No Style Dutch says, hot take, shooting on film doesn't give a movie that old school feel. I believe that comes from the shot composition editing. Yeah, and to me, Rebirth had that strongly too. Like, there were a lot more wild and crazy like shots in the Jurassic World films, I thought, compared to Rebirth, which felt a bit more grounded, I think, in its cinematography.
I've turned the turrets off, by the way. You are free.
Thank you
to get back.
And I guess it's done pretty well.
Yeah, it's like breaking all sorts of financial records for the franchise, isn't it?
Yeah. No Style Dutch says film grade is overrated. Yeah, and honestly, like newer films that are shot on film, they don't have to be grainy. I mean, yeah, you do have like subtle film grain, but it's very like the movie looks really clean. And I remember that was a big controversy with the Predator Blu-ray and then 4K, is because Predator and Aliens are both grainy movies, and I know James Cameron really cleaned up the grain with like new AI post-processing methods that were kind of controversial for the Aliens 4K release. In Predator, they went the opposite direction. They had a new scan of the negative, I believe, and it was very grainy, but some thought it looked really good.
There is a manifest on here.
The Blu-ray version wasn't even that bad anyway.
There
was only like
for Predator.
Yeah,
it was
there was
the
only
bit
like
with
2 scenes with Dylan.
That was like over DNR'd, where his skin looked waxy. Yeah.
I always thought that was an overblown complaint about that.
We have the manifest.
That transfer, should I say.
It's one of the reasons why I like watching movies in a theater on like original films that were shown before. Like, I flew out to LA to see Alien 3 on film, and it looked really interesting and darker, and the compositing looked better. And every time we see a home release, like, the colors have been tweaked a little bit from how it looked in the theater. Now, sometimes they can get it pretty close. Like, I think Alien 4K, they rescanned the negative, and the colors looked closer to how it was in a theater compared to the quadrilogy release and the Blu-ray release, where it had some new kind of color correction added. Xander says, I am mixed on Rebirth. Didn't like the score, the direction, and ScarJo. That was some Gal Gadot acting, which is weird because ScarJo isn't a bad actor, but man, that was bad acting on her end. I gotta disagree with the score. Honestly, I was disappointed in Giacchino's scores for all 3 Jurassic World films prior, which is a shame for me because I love his Lost World PS1 score. It's like one of my favorite scores of that franchise, and I was so stoked for him to come in and do the Jurassic World films because of that score. But to me, all 3 of those movies felt pretty uninspired in terms of the score, and I thought Alexander Desplat did a pretty good job with Rebirth.
That's another one where I just can't agree with you there. I thought it was boring.
It is a divisive movie, it would seem. I've seen opinions and reviews all over the map for this one. But yes, my girlfriend, who is a certified Jurassic World hater of the last 3, she thought this one was pretty good too. Or at least decent, I would say.
It wasn't bad, is how I would sum it up, but it wasn't good either. It exists. Yeah, it wasn't memorable, Xenosaurian, I agree.
Xenosaurian says, I only really enjoyed Fallen Kingdom. Yeah, like, there's things I can enjoy about all 3 Jurassic World films, and I kind of did like Fallen Kingdom's weird turn halfway through, where it's in the big spooky manor now with a lab underneath, and it feels like Resident Evil, and the Indoraptor was kind of cool. That mansion was just really interesting, how they had the museum setups, but the plot was pretty stupid and like, oh, here's Hammond's long-lost partner who he had a falling out with because he cloned his daughter. But in the next one, actually, no, she cloned herself. And that all got a bit silly. But there's aspects of all three of those movies that I like. Just tonally, it felt like it wasn't the same as the Jurassic Park films, and Rebirth felt closer to that tone I liked from the original trilogy, where there was more emphasis on the horror. Lost World is still my favorite in that franchise. I mean, I fully admit Jurassic Park is the superior film, but Lost World is my personal favorite.
I was always fond of the first and three more than any of the others.
Yeah, 3, I remember seeing 3 in theaters and being disappointed, but it grew on me fairly quickly. Like, even in subsequent viewings in theaters, I gained more of an appreciation for it. I thought it was too quick, because I think it was like 90 minutes, and Jurassic Park and The Lost World are both over 2 hours, so when I first saw it, I thought it was a bit too short. But I really love Jurassic Park 3 now. Like, that was a movie that really grew on me. Mike's Monsters, welcome to the stream, says Indoraptor was a Nosferatu ripoff. I have still not seen the original Nosferatu. I need to check that out. I've seen...
The remake was okay.
I saw the Werner Herzog one that was like, what, the 70s, the 80s? And I saw the new one, which I thought was pretty good.
I just thought that one was okay. I want to watch the Last Voyage. I haven't got around to that yet.
Yeah, that one I really want to see too, because I've heard that's like Alien on a pirate ship, pretty much.
Oh, ow! What attacked me there? Oh. Is it a big boy? Oh, is he a rocket launcher? Yep. Oh, balls him down.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, he swiped me on the way to you. Yeah, Calum says Last Voyage was pretty solid. So does No Style. I got him. He's down.
Nice. One more over there. Oh, he's got a rocket launcher.
Yeah, the one we just killed did.
Oh, and I just got rocketed.
Are you down?
No.
Ow.
I survived a rocket to the face.
Fucking no. Come on, die.
I think I need to switch my weapons here.
I do still recommend the kids show, you know, for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I haven't watched those yet. I've been more curious about them. I hear they keep... Well, I heard the latter seasons of Camp Cretaceous got a bit silly, but I hear the new one, Chaos Theory, is pretty good.
Any luck with the manifest?
I've not watched much of Chaos, but I enjoyed Camp Cretaceous. I really did. I was surprised.
Oh, Vasquez's smart gun? I didn't have that before.
I didn't pick it up. I think it just tells you.
Oh, it just tells you.
Yeah, this was in this mission. You picked it up before, so as far as we're concerned, yeah, you still have it.
No Style Dutch says, in film school I showed Trevorrow's short film Home Base to the class. I defended that man so much I felt betrayed by Jurassic World Dominion. I'm still curious how his Star Wars movie would have ended up. If that would have been followed through on. But yeah, it's interesting. You sometimes get these directors that have a film festival hit, like Gareth Edwards was one, right? He made Monsters, which I love.
I didn't like Monsters. I thought that was boring too.
Really? I thought it was great. I still feel like his two best films are his original ones, The Creator and Monsters. And that was made for $500,000, and then he went to Godzilla after that, which was obviously a much bigger budget. And Trevorrow was the same
not
kind
really
of film.
a Godzilla film either.
You weren't a fan of 2014?
It pissed me off so much how most of that film was cutting away just as Godzilla showed up
Yeah.
and was about to do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I was not a fan of. I'm really not a fan of any of the Monsterverse movies. Sorry, Mike and Caleb. I did like the TV series though. I thought that was pretty decent. I'd say King of the Monsters was the most entertaining of the movies.
Is that the one with Ghidorah in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree there.
Sizzy Bubbles, welcome to the stream. Says Monsters and the Creator, amazing.
I didn't like Creator either.
I thought it was good. I thought it was really cool. Caleb says the constant blue balling was definitely one of my least favorite things about G 2014. No Style Dutch says I love Godzilla 2014. I thought the cutting away was brilliant. Actually, I'll add that I think it's the only watchable Godzilla movie in the Monsterverse. Xenosaurian says agreed. King of the Monsters was most entertaining. The most entertaining. Sissy Bubbles says Godzilla 2014 god awful. So that movie was also kind of divisive, I think, but it did well. So they made a bunch more.
Yeah. I mean, at least these films know what they are.
Yeah. And I watched Godzilla -1 again recently, and
Which is fantastic.
Yes, definitely. I think Shin Godzilla still remains my favorite of the Toho films, which they're releasing a new 4K remaster of that, I believe, next month in theaters, so I'll have to go see that again. But I'm very curious to see how the sequel to -1 pans out, because I don't think Toho's done a direct live-action sequel for quite some time at this point.
I remember thinking the creature effects in Shin were very ropey.
Yeah,
Bearing in mind, I've only watched it once.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I need to watch it again. I remember them being good, but I know they built a practical Godzilla for that I don't know if they utilized in the movie. I'm sure Mike and Caleb could enlighten on that one. Sizzy Bubbles says Jurassic World Rebirth, serviceable in a positive sense. He did the best with what he had. Mike's Monster says, did not utilize. Sizzy says they didn't use it yet. Caleb says, no, the practical Shin was cut because Anno is weird. I assume that's the director, right?
One would assume. They've actually done 5 with the anime trilogy and anime series.
Well, I did say live action. That's why I specified live action.
I tried to watch the first one, and I couldn't get in. As in the one in the future where the Earth's all fucked up or whatever.
Yeah.
I tried to watch the first one of those. I think there were 3 of them.
There were 3, yeah.
And I just could not get into it. And then wasn't there some other anime series recently?
Yeah, Singular Point.
And I think we watched the first 3 or 4 of that, and I was like, eh.
I really liked the anime films. I know they were released in theaters in Japan, but they were on Netflix here in the States. I thought it was an interesting trilogy. I liked how sci-fi it was.
Oh, ow. Oh, the turret got me. I can't move.
Singular Point, the fans seem to love. Oh, you're dead? Well, we will try and respawn you.
I don't know what happened there. I just got stuck, and then the turret nailed me, and then I couldn't move.
I wasn't as big of a fan of Singular Point because I felt like the series got lost in exposition almost to a comical degree. But some consider that part of its charm. And but overall, it was really well animated.
Oh, it looked nice. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked very nice. I just thought I couldn't get into it. It looked boring.
And the design of Godzilla looked really cool in Singular Point.
I can't even remember if I'd seen Godzilla by the point I got fed up with that. Like 3 or 4.
He doesn't show up for a while in this series.
They sealed the cavern up. They're not stupid.
Have you tried Murderbot.
I have not. I think I've seen the trailer for that. Is that a movie or a show?
It's a series on not iTunes, Apple Plus, whatever it's called. I've watched the first 2 or 3 of that, and I actually quite enjoyed that. I think Apple has some of the better stuff at the minute. You know, Foundation, Murderbot, the comedy show with Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah. Foundation I've been curious about. It looks like an intriguing sci-fi. Did you ever watch Prehistoric Planet that they did?
No.
That was really good. Definitely the best dinosaur documentary series since Walking with Dinosaurs. Which, unfortunately, the new Walking with Dinosaurs does not live up to its own name very well, from what I've seen.
Man, that was a good time on BBC, that was, when Walking in Dinosaurs was on and The Planets was on.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of dropped the ball in the new one, unfortunately.
No way we're gonna take down 2 APCs.
I mean, I do like seeing my boy Utah Raptor get some representation always, but it's just not as well done as the original.
Oh, Perturbo says this game's more boring than watching paint dry.
Especially this part where we're just mostly killing mercenary dudes. Oh, is this the we have to be stealthy a bit?
Oh, is that why? Is that why it won't let me shoot them?
Yeah.
I mean, I do still think the game's pretty fucking poo.
I think the DLC campaign was a step up.
Oh yeah, it was better,
Yeah.
but it was still bad.
Still not great, yeah.
The bit with Hicks, you know, no.
No, most of my enjoyment from this comes, like, it's a cool sci-fi museum at times, and playing with friends can be fun, if just to mess around like we're doing now, but yeah, it was, compared to what I thought we'd be getting when I saw that original Game Informer magazine in 2007, and how long we waited after that, it didn't pay off.
No. Let me change my weapon. It's still a miracle. We got isolation after this.
Sabian Wilson, hello. Welcome to the stream.
You make a fucking sound, and your brains are what they find in the garbage.
Now you hate this cancer thing, don't you?
I just think, I don't know, like, yeah, there's been the lore conflict of whether or not you can survive having a chestburster taken out of you. And in parts of the expanded universe you can, and in parts like this you can't. Or as he explains, like, it leaves a cancerous thing behind. I've always liked it where there's that little bit of hope that it can be removed, and after it is, I liked the idea in the Marvel comics where, like, you have kind of a psychological link to the aliens after that, after you survive. So there's still, like, kind of the trauma involved in it, and the PTSD aspect. But to me, like, if it's just completely hopeless, like, I feel like that little bit of hope adds to the tension, you know, that it can be removed. And we saw it initially in Resurrection, but you could just say, well, that's because she's half alien. That's how she survived or whatever. But it's shown up in the expanded universe on multiple occasions, being able to have it removed and survive.
The EU had that happen far more than not. I mean, the only time I can really think of where it was like a cancerous thing was in the Colonial Marines Technical Manual. That is literally the only thing I can really think of. And that's fair enough, because, you know, that was always a good piece of a good reference piece for people making games and stuff, you know, for the tech and the Colonial Marines aspect of it. But I actually do quite like the, you know, the psychic, the link, the connection to the Hive from the Marvel stuff. I actually quite liked that.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that was interesting.
In theory, you should never be surviving the Chestburster event, so certainly interesting. Richard Roberts says, "Hey fellas, pot noodles and my AVP pros. Does life get any better?" Add a beer into the mix, my friend.
One with an update.
But yes, thank you for joining us,
Real
Richard.
Jesus, where have you guys been? What happened with Bella?
I went to the pot noodle, the
We did not meet
instant
on mission
ramen
parameters.
museum, pot ramen museum in Japan, which was fun. We got to make our own ramen.
Oh, is that the cup noodles one?
Are you sure you
Yeah,
Give us
Nice.
the damn orders, sir.
understood too well?
we did that last time we went as well. I enjoyed it.
Moved to a Wei UAPC in the interior of the compound. You'll need to temporarily
Perturbo84 says, didn't they remove the Chestburster in Dark Horse's Zula Hendrix comics?
No promises.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't read Defiance in a long time, so...
Don't they remove the Doctor's Queen Chestburster, but she dies of infection or something?
Oh, yeah, that's right. But that I was wondering if that was just this, where, like, dies of infection was...
I don't think they'd ever implied it was supposed to be. I don't think they ever implied it was supposed to be like cancer or stuff like this.
Yeah.
I think it was more the.
CN20 will be released in 10
I think it was supposed to be more, the circumstances of the surgery.
Oh, I see. I mean, in Alien 3, Michael Bishop, or Bishop 2 or whatever, does say, we could take that out of you. So, I mean, you could say he was just lying, but if Ripley knows she could survive and then decides to kill herself anyway, like, that does kind of make her sacrifice more meaningful. Granted, I don't like the whole Ripley sacrifice meaningful argument because people often use it like that's why the alien should never make it to Earth, which I disagree with. But
Well, I think the only thing that makes it aliens should never get to Earth is resurrection, and fuck that aspect of that film. But I would really love to see like a full-scale planetary infestation. It'd have to be a colony or something, I think,
Yeah.
that then subsequently gets absolutely nuked the fuck out of. But I would love to see that. But it could never be Earth.
well, you could do again like different adaptations and continuities. Like you could do an animated film based on the old Earth War arc or whatever. And have it be non-canon.
I hate the idea of different continuities and timelines and stuff like that. At least within Alien.
Even in like an animated film sense, like if they were to do Alien 5 but had like a realistic CG animated film.
No, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it suits Alien. But I think at this point it doesn't really fucking matter anyway, because there's that many different alternate things at this point now. What with the comic adaptations of the other scripts, the audio adaptation of Gibson's script, the book, Alien vs Avengers introducing multiverse. At this point, who the fuck even cares?
That one finished, right? Alien versus Avengers.
Yeah, I read it today, the last issue today.
What did you think overall?
I really fucking enjoyed that run. I really enjoyed it. It was just an absolute series of catastrophes and everything going wrong. And some great artwork. It feels like a lot of setup. But no, I really enjoyed it. Let's see if I can connect with Jonathan Hickman, actually. I'm assuming you haven't finished reading it.
No, not yet. Calum says, yeah, I always prefer to think they can be removed, but I do like the psychic link idea. Xenosaurian says, I'm with you, Aaron. I also hate the different timelines idea.
Angel Jamie says, my birthday was a couple of days ago, and my sister got me the Alien Galaxy of Nightmares, which is a paper trade back collecting Marvel's run up to Icarus. Okay, I didn't realize they'd done big...
Oh yeah, I saw that recently in my local comic shop. It's essentially the Philip Kennedy Johnson omnibus.
Okay, so the first 3 arcs.
Yeah.
There was still minor things in the first 2 I actually enjoyed. But Icarus was the first one where it was like, this is a solid all-around series for me.
Agreed, yeah. And the art was part of that. Like the step up in art for Icarus was
Yeah.
good.
Getting rid of Laroko.
Yeah.
Actually, are you picking up any of this? This isn't crossing the line. This is reinventing.
You see, I still enjoy this kind of aesthetic in alien stuff. You know, the labs with the aliens in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I do too. I have always liked me some alien in the bubbly tanks. I remember that from Nightmare Asylum had a cover like that. That was a really cool visual.
That kind of visual in Nightmare Asylum, absolutely iconic.
Yep. And in AVP 2 as well, they had some of that.
Yeah, some of the, I think it was Quarantine, the multiplayer map. That's why I was always disappointed with Bradford Exchange's thing. Because it was such a poor model of that kind of concept.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
CN20 will be released in 10.
You see, that's a nice
Yeah,
little
what
callback.
what kind of films are they making with these aliens here? They're certainly in some interesting poses.
Rob Keary says, have you guys done an Alien Trilogy playthrough? We've done a couple of live streams playing it.
Yeah, I think you have more than I have.
Yeah, I've certainly
But
done a couple.
the problem with the Let's Plays is we always end up not finishing them.
Well, no, because the live streams are just us dicking around talking to
Yeah,
people.
but the Let's Plays were like getting through the games and trying to do it in a way where we're not struggling with them. With a game like AVP Extinction, that was kind of difficult, and we did kind of abandon ship on that one. Although we could theoretically pick it back up.
Like I said, I've still got about 2 or 3 missions recorded that we just need to record audio for.
Yeah, so we could get back on that one. I would like to do a full playthrough of Trilogy, because I don't think I've ever beaten that game front to back. It is a really long game.
Yeah. The problem with the older games, without narrative as well, is it just kind of... I mean, it kind of relies on the level to be interesting, you know?
Yeah. I would love to see that game get a re-release, though. I mean, just thinking of the work Night Dive did with, like, Dark Forces. If we could get something like that with Trilogy, that would be awesome.
One of those dreams that I wish I could get to and will never have the time to do is to remake the first mission of Trilogy.
Oh.
You know, like Unreal or Unity or something like that.
Oh, that hurt. I was a little too close to that explosion there.
Yeah, I get you.
Thank you.
No, Stardust says, I don't mind the comics having their own universes, just don't particularly want the movies to do multiversal storytelling. Yeah, that is a fair point.
So we've had a few of those with the comics, like the original screenplay.
Well, I mean, even really since Wilkes and Billy.
Yeah.
You know, it never stopped those earlier stories with Newton Hicks existing, did it? Because of course it fucking didn't. And to be fair, I don't take the alternate stuff that seriously. I know they're like one-off alternate what-ifs kind of thing. Oh, shit. Somebody lobbed a grenade at me then.
I'll try and get to you.
I thought we were supposed to be able to move when we were downed. Or am I just thinking of a more advanced game?
Maybe you are. Is there another gas can next to this thing we're supposed to shoot, or do we have to make our way around it?
Don't we have to drop a fucking container on it later or something?
Eventually, yeah. I don't think we're there yet, though. Ow.
Angel Jamie says AVP 94 arcade game had those really gorgeous backgrounds. One of them with Xenos in the glass tubes. Yeah, that game had some good artwork and environmental stuff.
Yeah, that's another one that needs to be released widely.
No Style Dutch, yes, I did get the documentaries. No, I have not watched them yet, but your email is left on unread, so I can remember to go back to it.
Ah, these people are rough.
To watch them. There you go.
Thank you. Ah.
Custy Viper says, hey, how's my favorite group of people today?
Hey, oh, we are struggling.
Oh, okay.
Struggling to survive against these mercenaries. Otherwise, we're good
down.
though. Yeah, we both died.
Oh, man. I guess we're restarting that a little bit then. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. The weekend flew by as it always does. I wish there was more time in the world. I wish there was more time in every day.
Do we get him? Is that it?
Yeah, I grenaded him.
There's no way around. We gotta push it back somehow. Winner, see that crowd?
My town had its local little fair festival thing today.
Finish this.
So we had a saunter up to get some food.
Nice. I will try
Yeah, I think this is the bit with the
crane, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get over there. Ooh, I shot his head right off.
I'm trying to finish reading the first Jack Reacher book. I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking love the show.
I've heard good things. Ow, I'm on fire. It's not good. Okay, where are the controls for this crane?
Oh, it's it. No, I've got it. I've got it.
Nice.
Angel Jamie says, man, I was a big Gundam fan, and the latest series was a big Gundam multiverse, alternative universe story.
Nice.
No Star says, I love that the official Wildcats universe ended its story with an aliens crossover. Yes, because everybody died, didn't they? All the heroes. I mean, I have no problem with comics, in quotation marks, you know, superhero stuff doing it. I don't feel like it belongs in Alien, and I never have.
Wait, was that recently? There was a Wildcats comic where Xenomorph
No,
showed up?
that was a long time ago, Adam. Like where that team got killed.
Have not heard of that one.
Caustic Viper says, "What if until proven canon?" Oh, that's all EU, really, isn't it? Never get too fond of your EU sticking around.
As you say, it's canon until it's not.
And to be fair, well, I mean that can apply to the films as much as it is to the comics and the novels. Even if like the licensors say, "Oh yeah, your novels are canon,"
Yep.
means nothing if the next film comes out and completely contradicts it.
Yep.
But it still never takes away from how good that original story might have been.
Yeah. Oh, there's the donut. I guess they have a few donuts, huh?
That's a big aliens Easter egg reference, isn't it?
That's
He
right.
says, rolling his eyes at that one shot of the fucking idiots, weren't they?
Randy Pitchford. You guys remember the donut with a bite out of it from Aliens? There you go.
Angel James says, I'm still surprised. What if didn't take the opportunity to say that it was Bert that snuck the eggs? Face got onto the Sulaco. Well, the point was to redeem him. They didn't want to pin that on him. Oh, Adam. Jesus Christ.
I just want them to suffer, okay?
Evidently.
Pretty sure if we crack the regulator caps of all the cells.
Caustic Viper says, the Wildcats crossover, I remember a fire-breathing Xeno in it. It was a genuine surprise.
No power to
Alistair Ray says, are the Wayland Yutani PMCs meant to be the commandos? I don't know, because yes, there's some minor similarities between some of the design. Very, 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 very minor similarity. But I have no idea. Who fucking knows with this game?
Sure takes a long time to open that door, doesn't it, O'Neill?
And he's
Or,
not even
I guess
using
the door is open. Oh, okay.
If it had been a good Comtech, he'd have had his thing out, he'd have been doing a Hudson. Doing some overrides.
Oh, is this the point where we have to run around and do something?
Yeah, I think we have to burn eggs or something, don't we?
Power cell. No, we need power cells.
Okay. But all the doors are locked, so we have to jump in through the roofs, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Little fetch quest. Yay.
Everybody loves a fetch quest. Here's one in the middle.
Okay, you got that one. I'll go for another one. If I can find my way to it.
No Stardust says, I've seen mainstream movie websites and TikTok say that Disney's revival of Predator and Alien franchise has been the biggest success of the 20th century purchase. No surprise Disney hasn't put their foot down with the EU and done set like they did with Star Wars. I mean, technically, the Marvel stuff is a bit of a reset because, you know, it just ignores everything else. It's not like it contradicts it, but it certainly doesn't follow on from it, and our understanding is that they're not integrating it into integrating the old continuity into it, and they're not tying in with the Titan stuff like Dark Horse used to do.
Yeah.
Can't even remember where we're supposed to put the fucking power cells.
You got me. I'm still trying to find them here.
But yeah, I mean, I think the revival of Alien and Predator under Disney has been very successful.
Yeah. I think probably Avatar has been their most profitable purchase from 20th century. But Alien and Predator have both been doing really well. Now, this will be the first real test for Predator, I think, back in cinemas. Even though it did really well on streaming. But Romulus, yeah, that was huge for them. And that one had legs. It kept doing well weekend after weekend. How do I get to this thing?
Yeah, well, I'm completely fucking lost. Okay, I've got one. I've got another one.
Okay, I think I finally found the way to this one. Yep, I got it.
Xenosaurian says, I really don't watch movies in the theatres anymore. You see, that's something I really miss. Like, don't get... I have a Cineworld card, you know. Yeah, if you go and watch 2 films in a month, you've made your money back and blah, blah, blah. I really enjoy going to the cinema. I always have. I just tend to not be arsed after work, which is my big problem.
won't have a chance.
Mike's Monster says, I blame Mikey Newman for the bad level design.
Blames Mikey for everything.
Yeah, I've always liked watching a movie in theaters. I do think it's nice that theaters have had to up their game a little bit to compete with streaming. And I do love going to like art house theaters, a lot of which are in LA. We have a few here, but the best ones are in LA. And the like cinema pubs like iPick or Alamo Drafthouse I really like. I saw recently that AMC put some disclaimer up that's like 20 to 30 minutes of previews, and studios are kind of getting upset with that because they're thinking people don't go to the movies to watch ads. And yeah, that's always, they're always pushing it with that at the theaters. I think like 15 minutes is reasonable.
That was always part of the charm of going to the cinema, was to see those fucking trailers.
For sure, but there's a point where they can overdo it, and in some theaters now they'll add just regular advertisements in between.
In the UK,
trailers.
it used to be like 10 minutes of commercial trailers in terms of, you know, cars or games or random bullshit, and then it'd be 10 minutes of film trailers.
I mean, it's fine if you want to do that in the pre-show before showtime, but I think it should only be movie trailers.
Oh no, are you
showtime.
saying? Are you saying that they've been doing it in the middle of films?
No, not after the movie starts, obviously, but they do it after showtime. They have the trailers, and in between some of the trailers are just ads for things. Depending on the theater. Some theaters do them, others don't. Yeah, Mike's Monster says, I went to a movie last week and it was a 7:10 p.m. start time. The actual movie didn't start until 7:45. There were so many non-trailer ads during trailer time. Yeah, that's unreasonable. And I think that should be, like, shunned by audiences. And it seems like studios are getting a little irritated at that, too.
You see, I always add 20 minutes onto a start time of any film as a little bit of a buffer, because I'm like, that's going to be trailer.
Yeah, 20 minutes is, like, the max. Anything more than that, I think, is unreasonable. And it should be trailers, not, like, save the adverts for the lobby or for the pre-show. All right, which...
I tell one of the things I have been enjoying is the amount of old films that are getting shown on the big screen again. Yeah, that was something that was post-COVID. You know, I think I've seen Matrix on the big screen about 3 or 4 times since COVID now. I've missed the opportunity to see Starship Troopers a couple of times because it's always on fucking Wednesdays when I'm at the Geek Club.
That's playing in an art house cinema for me this summer. I might have to go see that one because I've never seen that on the big screen. But yeah, it's cool to see. I know Jaws is getting a big anniversary re-release in theaters this summer. One Bullet, that's the level we're on, right?
I don't know, you've been doing the thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this. I think 4 Bella was just a really long level.
Okay. Xander says got a new Earth pre-show ad with Rebirth. You see, yeah, that I absolutely fucking love as well. I still remember to this day the amount of times I got to watch the Believe ad for Halo 3 in the cinema. Granted, I fucking worked there at the time, so I saw it every day. But, you know, it was a fucking visual treat, and I like that kind of thing.
Well, that's fine, because that's like a trailer for a game, and that's like less common back then. So when you saw it, it was like, oh, this is for a video game. Like, I remember that Mad World trailer for Gears of War was really cool. But I don't want to see like a pest control ad in the middle of movie trailers. Like,
oh no, it's got to be appropriate.
Yeah, and there's ones at least in some theaters here that are not, that are like your insurance company ad. Like, no, I don't want to see that.
No, dickface, you signed up to die for other Marines. Whatever happens to me, promise you'll try and evac the captured Marines.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Mikey. Having ads for local businesses in there.
I mean, it's just, I think it's like keep it to the pre-show or keep it to the lobby.
Yeah, we have played this mission, haven't we?
Oh yeah, because she's alive. Oops. Okay, let's go back. She should be dead. So Rampart. I don't know why they have a picture of the space jockey there, because we haven't been there.
What the fuck are you guys on about with pre-show? What do you mean? That's
So
not a terminology that we would use.
okay, so a pre-show, they're less common now. Some still have them. Like I know Cinemark has the Nuvi pre-show or whatever. That's like there's video stuff before showtime, before the advertised showtime of the movie, right? And they'll have like movie trivia, they'll have adverts and stuff, they'll have some previews and trailers. That's where Alien Earth, I saw that first teaser, was during a pre-show. So that's like video adverts and other fun stuff or whatever before the advertised showtime. After the advertised showtime, the trailers start, but all too often now they'll still sprinkle ads in between the trailers, which I don't think is appropriate, personally.
Okay. Yeah, so I agree there. It should be your commercials, your ads, then it should be your trailers, then it should be a film. Which is how the UK does it.
Yeah, Mike's Monster says it's whiplash when going from a theatrical ad, then to a local car commercial, then to a full theatrical ad again. Oh shit, why are we matchmaking? God damn it. Friends only. Okay, Rampart. I was confused because the mission that we already did, one bullet, shows the space jockey, which we haven't been to yet, so I don't know why they have that image there in that mission.
So why not?
Sulaco Actual, this is Winter en route to the hostage extraction. What the hell are we looking for, sir?
Roger that. The manifest describes a security module where he's being held by Wayu on the other side of the structure. Go get him back.
Weapons hot. Start moving.
Okay, so this is right now, yes?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That spitter's acid can't get through here. It's super special acid resistant metal. We traded with the Predators for it.
I guess that happened in here.
Preliminary attempts to develop a living xenomorph queen have been surprisingly successful.
Why is it all concentrated in this module? The Xeno's all new to come here.
Like we initially hoped. She's producing eggs at a regular rate. The
Guess this is where the queen is. Ooh.
I'm listening to a lore log.
And they're very fascinating, aren't they?
Sometimes. Man, I always do love a good circular ceiling fan ominously moving slowly with light coming in from above it.
Flickering light.
That's my jam right there.
It's good stuff. Are you in it yet?
Yep.
Okay.
The button.
It's waiting for you. While you was admiring your ceiling fan.
Oh my god.
Oh, we got us a queen
Actual, you
here.
seeing this?
Affirmative, Winter. The image is shaky. What the hell is that?
It's the queen.
They're shocking her
Did you just say
to stimulate egg growth.
What the hell else would you call it? Laying eggs.
Isn't that some convenient assumption there, O'Neill?
Oh.
And isn't it convenient that at this particular moment in time she breaks free?
It does make for a cool visual, though. I'll give the game this moment. It's like the Jurassic Park Rebirth scene. Oh! Or Jurassic World Rebirth, I'm sorry.
So I hated all the mutant designs in that film as well.
The Doofosaurus Rex?
Well, even the fucking Mutadon or whatever it was. Man, I really did not enjoy that film.
I'm sorry, man.
So stupid.
I don't know. I think compared to the last three, it was a little bit less stupid, personally. It was still a little stupid. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't think the other films were stupid. I just thought they were meh.
Oh, I thought they were stupid. I thought all three of the last trilogy were dumb as hell.
Ow. You're shooting me. Hell. Richard Roberts says, I think you should be able by law to punch anybody using their phone movie theatre.
Yes.
Well, over here, you'll get kicked out.
Well,
That used to be half the thrill of working in the cinema. Was you go in and patrol for people on their phones or recording, and then you'd kick them out.
Depending on the theater, that'll happen here too. And that's another reason I like Alamo Drafthouse or Art House cinemas, is that shit is not tolerated there. Alamo Drafthouse literally did an advertisement campaign of them kicking people out and angry calls being mad that they got kicked out.
Yep, no refund either. You were just kicked straight out. I think you should legally be allowed to key people's cars who park like twats. That I will judge a person so much based on their ability to park.
So that's not just a thing over here then, is it?
No. But yeah, I think you should be allowed to key their cars.
Yeah. If you're outside of the lines, your car is legally keyable.
Yeah. Or even if you are on the line. You know, if you are on one line and there's about 5 foot space on the other side. Caustic Viper says, do you think the shocking her to stimulate egg growth was a reference to AVP 2004?
Not
Well, if they got the metal from the Predators, then why couldn't they have got that knowledge from the Predators?
Does it really bother you that much that spitter acid doesn't come through the side of a building?
I was only playing.
Oh, okay.
I do that is a feature that I would genuinely love to see more in
games. Yeah, it'd be tough to do, but could be done, I think.
Look, if we can do Frostbite, we can do stuff like that in this. Isn't there an Easter egg around here that references the Infestation game?
I don't know. I thought that was its own different continuity.
Well, Infestation was originally supposed to be a companion prequel type thing for Colonial Marines. And I'm sure there's a reference in this mission where you can like trigger one of the sprites running across a barrier or something. Hang on, once we've cleared these out, give me a minute to find it. Because that is a game I absolutely fucking adore.
Yeah, I'd love to see that re-released. So I can actually play through it. And that one was by WayForward, and they've done some awesome side-scrollers. Ah! I thought I could take them out.
One called.
I'll tell you in a second. Help me!
Oh, hang on. I need to come to you. I've tabbed out. I was Googling. Oh, I'm down. Fuck's sake. I was tabbed out Googling. So what's this mission? Rampart. Just give me a second. I forgot just talking about the space jockey. I'll have to look it up later. I'm sure there is a Easter egg for the DS game in here. You need to get a copy of that game.
Yeah, well, my girlfriend has one, so I just need to play it on her DS already.
I really absolutely enjoyed it. I played that a good through a good few times. Ah.
And that was the first one to introduce like the permadeath for the Marines, right? That we saw again in Dark Descent.
Yeah, yeah, that was a feature of that game. You could recruit a roster of Marines, rescue them throughout the ship. Then when one of them died, you could swap to a different one that you'd rescued earlier. And each of the characters would have like different dialogue or different ways of speaking and stuff like that. It was actually a surprisingly tension-filled game. Until you get the motion tracker, then it loses a fair bit of tension, but... so, No Style Dutch says, so what do we think of the stills of Deck and maybe his brother from Badlands?
I know the ears have been pointed out because we haven't seen Predator ears until that.
That is such a non-issue to me. It really
No,
is.
it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of funny. I had to do a double take. I was like, have they had ears before? And I went back and looked at like their old head sculpts, and I was like, nope, they haven't. That's new.
Of course they'd have to have ears.
Yeah, somewhere, but not visible ones they haven't had before.
Well, that's because their dreadlocks have been hiding them all. I am used to Deck's style of dreads now.
Mike's Monster says they were there since the original design in 1987. You'll have to point them out to me, because I did not see them. But overall, I thought the image was intriguing, and it feels like we're finally on the cusp of getting a bunch more stuff on both Badlands and Alien Earth with San Diego Comic-Con coming up. And I haven't announced it on social media yet, which I'm going to, but we are going to San Diego Comic-Con. We got our press situation worked out, and we will be there.
Indeed, we know Predator's going to be in Hall H, don't we?
Yes.
So Adam will be there to do some tappy-tappy about that.
And Mike's Monster says, Mike and Ridgetop are going to party and get fucked up in SDCC. Do you like that, Mike? I don't know if you like that. But if you're down, let's do it.
Yeah, I like that picture as well. His appearance has very much grown on me. It was really just the dread positions that I found weird initially, but I knew I'd get used to it eventually, and I have done.
We got the Prometheus snot in here.
I'm glad they scaled the corridors to be Prometheus sized.
Where is it? Where's the glowy orb?
And I like the pull. I did genuinely like the work they'd done on the on this bit.
Mike's Monster says, gonna get drunk on all the cool reveals. Well, some alcohol could be involved too.
You get to have all the fun at the minute.
Caustic Viper says, we need Adam to cut loose and ask all the most important questions while drunk. No, I wouldn't drink on the job. Save that for the after party. I'm not that wild.
Nostalduch says,
Excellent.
if Dan T takes questions, Ridgetop is going to be like, Dan, in regards to Killer of Killers, how dare you? And Caleb says, no, that'll be Aaron asking that.
I gave the movie an 8 out of 10. I did not hate that movie.
Quick status update.
I think I gave it a 7, didn't I? I
Yeah.
didn't hate it.
I was
just thought
surprised.
It would have been better.
I was surprised you gave it lower than I did.
We need to reach out to Dan
And hope he didn't see that review.
to be fair to him, and to be fair to Fede, they were both very...
Receptive to criticism.
Yeah, and to just expecting to get it on fan podcasts.
Well, I remember Fede was like, don't be nice to me. He's like, I know you guys are being nice. You can be straight up.
We had spoke to Dan before the film came out, and he was on board to coming back on. So I just need to reach out to him again. Obviously, because this been my first week back from holiday, and I've been working on the Concrete Jungle interview.
Ow, I'm getting messed up by this guy. Have a sharp stick. Mike's Monster sent me some Predator ear photos, so I will see what I've been missing.
Look, Eric was also said some things in Prey that Dan did not agree with, and Dan still came and joined us on that.
I love your little search for words pause there. That was great.
You know me. I will try to find more appropriate words.
Even if they take a moment. Oh man.
But no, I will drop Dan a message after to see if he's still on to join us. It'll probably be the end of the month. I'm away not next week, Adam, week after. So
Where are you going?
training course.
For work?
Yeah.
Are you teaching you how to crack the whip a little better?
No, it's a City and Guilds cabling course. So basically stuff I've been doing for the last 1,000 years of my work way, but now I get a certificate to say I can do it.
Nice. Yeah, I need to get the I've been doing more drone photography as of late, so I need to get that like official certification.
I did my theory for drone commercial usage many years ago. I never did finish my practical though. Although I always found that whole incident for me as a fun example of the level and quality of communication within large organizations.
For which one?
Sure. When I was doing my drone license.
Oh, it seemed a little disjointed.
No, so I was doing a commercial drone license for a pilot we were running at a local level, only to find out that there was an entire division within the company that did exactly that, and it was entirely unnecessary and redundant.
I see.
Which is why I never finished doing it.
Hmm.
So there's been a lot of little things like that throughout my professional career that have made me very much believe things that sound like they would be stupid are very realistic.
Yeah. Jaws is a good example where it's like, really? They're going to do this again? They're going to elect the same mayor? And the shark's going to come back? That's not very realistic. Oh, it is. Okay. The guy who fucked everything up, we want him back? Oh, okay.
Oh, I disagree with Xenosaurian there. It says Dan's Predator films haven't been very good so far. I fucking love Prey. Aside from Ferrell's unmasked appearance. And for the most part, I enjoyed Killer of Killers, but not the best it could
Yeah,
have been.
I've seen reviews saying it's a step up from Prey. Like Chris
Don't agree with
Stuckman
it,
said, is it Stuckman or I think it's Stuckman? Yeah, he said, "Oh, there it is. Woo!" He said,
have you done the Easter egg?
"No, I just saw that the pup flew right in front of my face, but I could do the Easter egg."
It's not triggering.
Maybe it's because we already passed this checkpoint.
Or do we have to shoot from the other side? I always thought this, in theory, it was such a good concept for an Easter egg. Oh, no, it's from the other side. In theory, it was such a good concept for an Easter egg. But that is lazy fucking modeling there.
Yeah. People were like, "Oh, it's the ship from Prometheus." I'm like, "No, it's the telescope table upside down."
So fucking lazy. And they're firing missiles at each other. And the derelict's the wrong way round
Yeah,
as well.
it's going backwards.
Fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Caleb says the mayor's still having a job in Jaws 2, aged like fine wine.
Nostal Dutch says, "For all we know, the mayor has did great except for that 1 week." Well, that was a really bad week. There's some things that should disqualify you from politics, I think, going forward.
Oh, nothing disqualifies you from politics.
Apparently not. That was the lesson that I'm seeing in reality these days. But I'm walking dangerously close to that topic, so I'll veer away.
We know they're moving a prisoner to an APC. Can you two intercept?
Caleb says, to be fair, them half-arse in the Easter egg is really on brand. Yeah, can't disagree with you. One day, Adam, we'll get the proper squad-based FPS. I'm certain of it.
We already did. It's called Fireteam Elite.
That's not an FPS.
Oh, you're right. Well, shooter. Okay. That should have had an FPS mode in it.
And there were some choices made with that one that aren't my favourite. Although I still very much enjoy Fireteam.
Yeah. I mean, it's a better game than this one.
Oh, absolutely.
Ah! Why are you shooting at us when you have aliens to deal with?
I mean, who do you even... Xander says, Killer of Killers was a super rough movie, in my opinion. Yeah. It was okay. It could have been significantly better. I think just underbaked and a little rushed would be my... Oh, shit.
Yeah. We did see a couple comments that were like, I thought I was going crazy with my criticisms for this movie, and props to you guys for critiquing it a bit more, because the majority opinion has been overwhelmingly positive, like the highest in the franchise.
It's the best thing since sliced bread kind of thing, and I'm just like, I don't understand. You know, I'm the kind of person that will very much look on the bright side and focus on the things that he likes, unless it's truly fucking terrible like ABPR. But yeah, even I was a little like not quite sure where the positivity had been coming from.
Yeah, I remember Mike saw it a little early at theater showing out there in LA, and the first things he told me were, it was fun, and I had notes, and I was like, uh-oh. That's no good.
Now, I do not think Killer of Killers is the worst film in the franchise by any stretch.
No. I mean,
Nothing will ever knock the Predator off
Yeah.
of that pedestal.
we hope. It is overrated, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. But there are still quite a few elements of it that I found. So.
Mike's Monster says, for how much you guys critiqued it, the scores still felt high. You guys spent so much time nitpicking, it made it sound like you had way more issues than you actually had. I think part of that was just the overwhelmingly positive reception. Maybe kind of prompted us to focus more on the criticisms. I was torn between a 7 and an 8, and I gave it an 8 because I felt the movie was executed really well. Regardless of the problems I had with it, I kind of recognized my problems were more like fan nitpicky problems, and overall it was a solid film.
You see, I was struggling with the 6 and the 7.
Really? Yeah, see, I thought you'd be
Yeah.
higher than me. I was a bit surprised. Because Greg gave it a 9, didn't he?
Yeah, Greg was very positive about it. Which, fair play to the lad. I feel like we kind of made him feel like he had to hedge his bets a bit with his discussion of it, and I'm like, no, Greg, you can enjoy it, buddy. We don't all have to think the same.
Actually, you seen this?
Xenosaurian absolute fucking disagree there.
There's an FTL on the
He
ground.
says
That's our way
the
off
Predator
planet.
was actually entertaining and awesome.
Actual.
It was okay
Killer-
until
Killer-
it was okay until Fugitive dies.
What? O'Neil, man, we gotta go now.
That was a train wreck of a film, in my
Before he
opinion.
authorized the mission. It was never about Bella.
O'Neil, get in the goddamn APC.
Actual. This is 2-1 en route with prisoner. You have a
And
lot
I
of
have
explaining
just
to do,
booked
sir.
the first recording for a project I've been trying to get off the ground. So I'm quite excited about that.
They like
Oh.
Mr. Shit at you. Do they have a reason to be?
Who is he?
Son, be careful about what you do next.
Did you know about the manifest?
You were gonna go either way.
Did you know that Bella was gonna die, no matter what?
Yes. And you knew it too. Son, there wasn't a force in hell that was gonna stop you guys.
They sure point guns a lot at each other for being in the same unit.
Yeah, they are very, yeah. Xander says, sadly, the influencers have more power and reach than fan sites. Whatever influencers say is now the common word of mouth. You see, I don't think I'd necessarily agree with that, Xander. I mean, early reception
Get that bag off.
kind of sets expectations, but then you see a lot of, I think, disagreement, because at the end of the day, you know, negativity will always outshout and be louder than positivity. So even when we've got films like Prey and Romulus, where the general reaction is very positive, the negative crowd always tend to make it sound louder. So, I mean, I see that on the Facebook groups, and to be fair, a lot of that can be just because Facebook is trash and, you know, full of morons anyway. But I don't think influencers are perhaps as influential as they would like to think they are.
I think it depends. I definitely think there's a different category for influencer when it comes to like fan groups as opposed to individual influencers. Like I remember the Fujifilm X100 camera series was sold out for like a year because of some popular person on TikTok was just like, oh, I really like this camera. So like they can still have some sway. Mike's Monster says some would consider us from the fan sites as influencers these days. Yeah, I mean, we've been reached out to by influencer marketing groups before for these companies, and we've been surprised by that, honestly. But also we hear something where like they had a screening and showed the first episode of Alien Earth, and fan groups are not invited to that. I think they know that like fan groups would kind of dissect and analyze something like that a bit more and would be more likely to spill the beans on things. So that might be part of the reason with that. So I definitely think there's a difference between like high profile individuals versus like a press group, you know, or an internet site.
It is a. I mean, I never expect to be included in things like that, Alien Earth screening thing, but it's still always kind of a little disappointing. And I don't know if that is because of the negative reception around fans. You know, well, they're all just negative, and I realise the irony in that. Just been bitching about killers of killers in this game.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true of us as a little group, you know, me and you, and even though Eric is more negative, I guess, I don't think he goes in there looking for things to dislike.
No, he's not like, this was shit, like, all these people should feel shame or whatever. Like, we try and be measured with our criticism, and yeah, we're not gonna always agree on things, and our opinions will vary, but we try and, like, be civil and measured, and that's certainly not the case, I think, for a number of YouTubers or other online influencers. I do feel like, though, 20th Century Studios certainly made more of an effort to connect with the fan groups, although I have noticed that changing a bit with Disney. Like, they have been reaching out to us a little bit more. But it's still, like, even what they do for Alien Day is nowhere near the level as it was before the merger.
Oh my god. Fucking hell, that was difficult. Yeah, I mean, we enjoyed a very involved relationship with the licensing department at Fox. You know, we were handling all the reviews. I mean, I had a decade-long relationship with their theatrical PR. You know, I dealt with the same person at Fox PR for 10 years, who got us involved in all sorts of stuff, and it was great. And I think it's been a huge shame how difficult it's been to try and re-establish that kind of relationship with Disney.
If anything, I think we're reached out to more by the license holders, by like game developers, or Titan Books, right? They'll send us a review copy, or sometimes we'll be asked to consult on something even. So those are typically who we have more communication with these days, are the license holders and kind of the sub companies that are making franchise projects.
But then again, you know, we've had some communication with marketing contractors, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, for FX, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, you've left the thing.
Oh, shit.
If you're holding
Fuck's
a motion
sake.
tracker, keep your face glued to it. Call all positions. Head into ops and find anyone still alive inside.
We're gonna get killed now.
No, it's okay. We got this. Let me just pull out my shotgun.
I like to keep this handy.
Oh, where'd he go? Oh, he went in the little trap door. Little sneaky bastard.
I will be glad to never see Hadley's Hope again.
Really?
Yeah.
This
Just
game ruined it that hard, huh?
Well, no, not because of the game, but just because of how much they've reused this.
Just the look of it, you mean?
No, just the location, the locale.
Oh, between, like, the books and...
Yeah, and the comic and the games.
Yeah. And the RPG, I guess. If Hope's Last Day. which I'm like, this is happening the same time as River of Pain. There's a lot and the Fire and Stone arc,
Yeah.
right? Also had the Marines stationed there. The people that to see, there was a lot going on the lead up to this.
Oh, fucking cornered again. I'm down.
So I see what you mean now. I'm coming. Ooh,
Dino trolling. I'm sure you're just being a troll right now. Speaking of the RPG, guess who's actually getting to go play a game tomorrow?
You?
Yeah, my local nerd club that I go play Digimon at. They're doing an RPG night and they're running a Alien session. So I was like, you know what? Yes, I will have a slot on that table, please, and I will come play that game.
Nice. I never noticed this before, but they have the little facehugger pinned with the table here, with the shots in it. This was the one from the movie in MedLab.
Yeah. Which I like that.
Alright, I guess I better come help you deal with these aliens, huh?
It was a
lurker.
feature in. It was a thing in the OG. Not the
Where
OG.
did he go? Oh! Oh!
Classic AVP that I liked as well, where they had the pinned face hugger on the desk.
They look fierce, asshole.
Xander says they finally did an RPG session for an episode. Nice. We did a couple of actual plays on the YouTube, didn't we? I wish we could do more. It's a shame Chris is a bit too busy to do them. I'd love to run some. I enjoyed it when I ran a session.
Yeah.
But I'm too busy with every fucking thing else.
It just takes so long unless it's like one of the shorter cinematic scenarios.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing necessarily wrong with it taking 8 hours of your.
That's true. Sometimes you want a day of just doing that, and that's fine. But the older I get, the less I have time for things like that. But I do like some of the shorter ones, like Chariots of the Gods, Hope's Last Day. Like those, you can crack those out in like 2 or 3 hours.
No. Those are like 8 hour, 6 hour.
Not Hope's Last Day.
Stories.
We've never played.
Oh no,
that
no,
one.
not Hopes. Sorry, like Chariots, all the cinematic, the the big ones of that length.
Really, Chariots? I could have sworn Chariots we finished shorter than that.
We might have done once when every fucker died, but it's
No,
not.
I mean like getting to the actual end where people get away.
No, because it's a 3-act. It's a 3-act scenario.
Okay.
We've replayed that a bunch of times. I'd like to replay some of the other stuff.
Alright, where do we go? I really liked the what was the one with the spooky space station and the red nebula that Chris wasn't as big of a fan of?
That was the last one. That was Hot. Oh, there he is.
They look pissed.
Heart of Darkness,
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't mind playing that again.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed that one.
It's just one of those things. Is again, we don't have a dedicated game mother.
Let's rock.
Yeah. Some people really go all out in terms of like doing those in person too. Like I've seen some rooms decked out and made to look all sci-fi. And I think that would be kind of more enticing to me than I mean, I know the realities of our geographic differences call for playing the game online, but I think it would be more enticing to have a really themed setup in person for that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Xander says we did the Colonial War one. That made me think, Aaron. Yeah, well, we did the Colonial War one, actually, didn't we? And then we ended up doing the Inferno's Fall one.
Yeah, we go down here, I think.
The Colonial War one was... not to trash on it because it's related to Colonial War, but I found it didn't really drive the narrative.
Is there like a bug here or something?
No, we had to go meet Cruz again.
Oh, I gotcha.
Look, problem,
All right,
Caleb, is
guys,
Chris
head
is
to
very
the vehicle
busy
bay.
in his
That's our
life
new
to
ops center.
himself at the
And
minute.
watch the damn
So
roofs.
I do fucking love that game, though. I genuinely fucking really enjoy that RPG. I've had so much fun with us playing that.
And honestly, even if you don't like playing it, I like getting it just for the art and the lore. I mean, I think some of the expansions don't have enough new art, and I would still like to see a physical art book for it. But the rule book is great in terms of just a lore reference, like a general reference.
Did you back the second edition?
I did,
The
yeah.
whole-
I think I did the same tier you did.
Yeah, I did one of the big tiers.
I did like the Xenomorph bundle or whatever, which is
I'm
I think what
I'm
you did.
really looking forward to that as well.
Tractor is getting lit up here. You better get ready for this shit.
Richard Roberts says you got to do more drunk movie carries. I was thinking about that earlier, actually.
Yeah,
'Cause
Prometheus
I
would
think
be a good one for
yeah,
that.
Prometheus is going to be our next one. It's just a prep thing for me.
The world isn't holding.
Like, you know, having the time to go and watch the films and take all the notes and actually... I hate not prepping, and I hate listening to other people's podcasts where they clearly haven't prepped for it, because it's just uninformed opinions and discussion, and it's worthless in my opinion. So I always like to make sure I've done my research, and with things like the commentary, I'm like, I really want a job, and I always did try and do a lot of prep with the other two that we did. So it don't get me wrong, we've not forgotten about it in the slot. It's just things are very busy, busy at the minute.
Both with just general reporting, things happening in the franchise, and our lives outside of the AVP stuff are more busy than usual, I'd say, these days.
I miss being, 25 and having all the time in the world.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's little things as well though. Like my new employers, the AVP Galaxy is blocked on their internet, so I can't even dip on in my breaks and stuff.
See, that's worth quitting right there.
It is very unfortunate. Richard Roberts says Prometheus is next time. Adam is going to get shit faced.
Oh no.
Did we actually get drunk in the other one? I can't
No,
remember.
we had a little bit. I got a little tipsy for AVPR, and maybe the Predator. But I'm I like to think I'm not an alcoholic.
It's just the stress of daily existence, mate. I'm not saying I have existential dread or anything, but... Xenosaurian says, what do you think about Thanatos Encounter? That is a game I have a huge soft spot for.
So you played through that whole thing here on the channel, right?
Yeah. I've done a Let's Play of that. How the fuck do I... What's the torch button? What's the torch button?
I'm playing with a controller, so I don't know if I can help you out with that one.
Hang on. Green controls... Green keyboard... Flashlight.
F for flashlight?
X. Yeah, I tried that.
X?
It's
That's
X.
weird.
There we go. Yeah, so I really like that. When I was a kid, that was the game that got carried around in my Game Boy, with my Game Boy Pocket and my Game Boy Color. When I was at a relative's house and I didn't have my PC in my pocket and I couldn't play AVP2, I would be playing Thanatos Encounter. I played it through multiple times in the years. And I played it through not this year, maybe last year on the channel, I can't remember. I need to change my weapon. Oh, you son.
Oh man. Oh shit. This isn't looking good.
Angel says I do not like alcohol, but I do feel AMC's Romulus drink, even if just the glass it came in.
Yeah,
AMC did what?
Yeah, I had a friend pick that up for me, and Mr. Mike was kind enough to deliver it.
Didn't you get a glass in this shit I ordered?
I got a souvenir cup for you, which I will get.
No,
you.
I ordered you a collector's thing of the Romulus drink, didn't I?
Well, the beer, yeah.
Yeah, but isn't there a glass in there as well? I've not opened it. It's just in a
No,
fucking box.
I don't
I'll be
think.
waiting for
I don't
it
think
to
there's a.
come back over here.
I don't think there's a glass in there.
Okay.
And
thought-
I got the Aspen beer whenever you make it out here. I actually looked up, does beer ever go bad? And they say no, like it never becomes unsafe to drink. Like it might lose some of its flavor, but
I have a can on top of my display cabinet, but I have no intention of drinking. I'm not really a berry person.
you're not a what?
A berry person, because it was like a cherry sour or something.
Oh, sour beer is my favorite. Sour pickle beer. That's what I like.
I just like a nice beer. Normal beer.
Give me that funky, weird, like, tart beer. That's what I like. What are we waiting for here? The Crusher is dead. Oh, wait. Oh, there's one alien.
Did you never play Thanatos Encounter as a kid?
No, I don't think I had a Game Boy Advance. It was on the Advance, wasn't it?
No, it was color.
Oh, I didn't have a Game Boy Color. Yeah. I had a Game Boy Pocket, and that was it, as far as Nintendo handhelds that I had.
Right. That's a shame. It was fun. You should borrow scissors and have a go.
Yeah, I should.
Even when I did our replay of it for the channel for our Let's Play, you know, I was like, this isn't the same, and I like to replay it on my analog pocket, not the OG hardware, but I played it a couple of times on the analog pocket, and I love it.
Hey, Cruz, what's up?
That had a lot of fun things for what it was, you know, this whole Game Boy Color game. The two-handed mechanic where you could run around with a pulse rifle in one hand and a shotgun in the other, and you could fire them at the same time. There were some weapons where you had to hold it two-handed, like the smart gun or the flame.
I think this is bugged out, Aaron.
Okay. Would you like to restart the checkpoint?
I think we must.
Gusty Viper says Pokemon Silver on the Game Boy Color
She's not here.
and butter.
Sorry, sir. I sent Reed with Hicks in an
Yeah,
APC
I really love that generation. Although my favourite is the Ruby and Sapphire remakes.
No, I have not, Pred Alien BG 386. I need to. I have the opportunity to. I just have not put in the time. But I very much should.
Well, like the opportunities where you should be playing that. I feel like you're now just playing Isolation on the iPad on the aeroplane instead.
Yeah.
Or on your travels.
Well, I had a friend show me the 3DS, which I had never actually seen in person before, and I was really impressed by the effect. I know Samsung just made... Really? I know Samsung just made their first, like, no glasses 3D monitor, and I'm very intrigued by that tech. And I think the 3DS can, like, emulate the games that don't have that effect, so it just looks like it does.
No, I had a 2DS because I just really hate... Well, no, I had a 3DS. But I just hated the 3D. I've never been a fan of the technology, but the Crush is down.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the technology.
Now Cruz is opening the door like he's supposed to, I think.
Gusty Viper says Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are great as well. dove into shiny breeding on Omega. Now, I was never interested in that kind of thing, but I was glad it was there for people. I just played Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, while I was away, and in the hotel. I fucking hate that game. It was so bad. I really did not enjoy it.
Brilliant Diamond?
Yeah, it was another Pokemon remake.
Oh. Yeah, the only one I've played through is Red. Although I did play Stadium and Snap on the 64.
The company that made the Analog Pocket have made a version of the N64 actually. Same sort of thing where you plug your original cartridges in.
Get that bird in the air.
Sulaco Actual need just a minute to
That's cool.
Which was pretty cool, yeah.
Winner, you heard the lady.
I got you, Raider.
Xenosaurian says, I saw they're releasing a PC version of Rogue Incursion. I was so surprised that they announced that, but like really, I was really glad for the people who didn't have a VR kit and didn't want to get a VR kit. So I'm glad that there's the opportunity there, I suppose. But I just feel like it's going to lose a lot because so much of that game's fun is in the tactility of it.
Yeah. I do wonder how well it'll translate to a non-VR version. Now, some games that have been built with non-VR in mind first, I think, have done really well. Man, he messed me up there. Like the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
The new Resident Evil games, fully playable in VR, work great. They have that feel where you can like mess around with the physics and stuff. But the non-VR versions are just as good, if not better. So I am curious to see how this turns out. I saw in an interview recently, I think it was the IGN thing, where they said, we always had a plan to bring this over to non-VR version.
I don't trust a lot of what Servio say about stuff like that. Like the whole, it was always a part.
Because I think we asked them about that when I was there, and I said, like, do you guys plan to do a non-VR version? And they were like, well, it's built from the ground up for VR. So they were coy with that.
But that said, I do actually fucking really like Rogue Incursion. I really enjoy that game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We need to do an episode on that. We haven't actually recorded a podcast on.
Yeah, we were going to have those guys on.
Oh, no, I mean just a review. Yes, I did need to sort out some dev interviews as well. We were broaching it, and it was looking likely.
At this point, we should probably wait for the new version and include that in our review, and then time the interview with that too, because it'd be more relevant. I don't know. We're supposed to disconnect the fuel lines. I think we got both of them.
No, there's one here.
Oh, eliminate remaining Xenos. There's probably one stuck somewhere. Another oh, there we go.
Lone Fox says, are you optimistic for the 2 new books later this year? I'm very much looking forward to Cult. I think it's an aspect of the franchise that has not been sufficiently explored or mined. So I'm really curious to see how that's handled. I can't remember what the other book... Oh, Perfect Organism. I can't remember what the synopsis was for that.
Was that the one that had the framed
really bad
picture on the wall? Yeah.
I cannot remember what the synopsis was for it.
Wasn't it like...
Caleb, go find me the synopsis.
It sounded like the game Layers of Fear but Aliens, where it was like an artist who was obsessed with the aliens or something.
Yeah. No, I'm curious about that as well. That's interesting, We've had that with Music at the Spears in the past, and that is one of my favourite novels. I don't think the comic was quite as strong. Comics never are as able to, explore character as well. So, because, Music of the Spears, the novel, is one of my top 5 stories, I'm quite looking forward to that one. No, don't worry about it, Caleb. We're fine. We figured it.
Looks like you'll fit right in, you insubordinate.
Mike's Monster says, we did ask them about that in person. I remember. Same with them not saying anything about it being a multi-part game. That was never in the initial discussions, and the way they are wording it makes it sound like there's more than just two
We left
parts.
LV-446
I can't imagine they
and
would
sent out
do
a distress
more
call.
than 2 parts. I don't
Call
think
you all
they could
responded to.
keep it up
Near
for
Fury, the ship went
that
into
long,
alert,
personally.
And I was pulled out of cryo as the ranking and only Marine. The ship was
Richard
on
Roberts
alert
says I
because
can't do
Michael
VR
Whalen's
either. I don't
PMCs
sick,
illegally
but
boarded
my
the
eyes
ship.
sweat like I'm not in a
The 4
brothel.
cryopods
Dino
ejected
Soren says
safely.
VR hurts my
But
eyes.
obviously wasn't in mine.
A long time ago, VR used to make me
whose
feel a
body
bit
was in the
sicky,
crate?
but I can deal with
That's
the
a longer
new
story.
technology.
Care about
The
one
problem
thing,
I have
taking
is I
these
get
guys
very
down.
hot with
That's all I got
the
left, boys.
the headset
Let's
on,
get to
so
it.
I have to play
Floor
it
is
with my
yours,
little
sir.
fan
We're all
blasting away at
Colonial
me.
Marines here.
I
wake up in the
really
morning
enjoyed
thanking
that
baby
game.
Jesus for every day I'm in the Corps. So I'm gonna be good goddamned if I let Wayland
The
Utah
Custy
take
Viper
that
says, so
away
it's
from
Music
me.
of the Spears just without the
And we
music.
don't have that
Yeah,
FDL shit to get
it's
all of
Art
us
of the
back
Spears
off
this
planet.
time.
But they do. How long
Nostalgic
we got
says,
before the last
that
one?
just made me imagine Adam and
Comes in
Comic
tonight.
Con dressed up
They're
like
packing up for
old-time
good.
reporters asking the
Take this
hard-hitting
ship or we don't
questions.
leave.
Should we get you a fedora
We're gonna get.
and
I have 63 active
put a little
United
piece of
States
paper with press on
Colonial
it on there?
Marines.
You
And we're
said
gonna
it was
take
planned
that
as a VR
facility.
version. Now you're saying this
And
was
then
always the
we're gonna
plan.
take
So
that
which is it,
ship.
Servios?
And we're gonna get everything we can to take
Yeah, I
this
don't feel like
company and
they're
Michael
marketing
Wayland down for all the shit they've put us
best.
through and taken from us.
I do hope that
Hoorah to Ash.
the new version really makes use of having that extra
For the Marines
graphic
who lost,
fidelity
guys.
in the non-VR version, because the trailer they did for the Evolved Edition looked really nice as far as presentation goes, and I hope the game, when it's released, reflects that, and they really show off Unreal Engine 5 now that they don't have to render an image twice.
Alright, we're done for the night.
Yep, think we've gone for the usual 2 hours. What do you think, Aaron? Should we keep doing this? Should we play through this and then the DLC campaign?
Well, we'll finish it next week. I would like to get back to... Might not finish it next week, actually, because I'm away. Like, I'm going on the Sunday. Well, we'll finish it at some point. I would like to get back to playing that fan game that I'd been playing. At some point.
You know what we should do is, and yeah, I would love to see you finish that as well. I think we should do another like multiplayer game with this, because that's always been fun when we've done that.
Yeah, what, you mean a game night?
Well, maybe just one that we actually stream, because we've done that before, where like we just set up a server and whoever wants to join us can just join us on the stream, and we do like multiplayer games. So a alternate community game night, perhaps.
Isn't there a game? Oh, it was fucking yesterday, wasn't it?
I've been missing them these days because it was a holiday for us. So
I'd actually intended to join in yesterday. I'm really annoyed at myself right now. Okay.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Always check us out. EVPGalaxy.net.
I'm intending to post a tease for our upcoming podcast. I did take tomorrow, but I haven't started the video, the thing yet, have you?
I will do that today.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that should hopefully be up tomorrow. A tease for the new podcast, which I'm working hard away at, and we'll get some extra stuff started. When's San Diego? It's this month, isn't it?
Yes, as Mike's Monster says, soon Mike and I will be going together to SDCC, so that'll be fun. Our second time doing that after Prey in 2022.
So we'll be there getting the coverage of the shenanigans that takes place for Predator and hopefully Alien. But,
Indeed. And I expect I will be going through the wreckage site yet again for the third time.
Is that where it is? Have they confirmed it?
They haven't confirmed it, but I mean, come on. That's where it's going to be.
Okay.
I overheard the staff talking about it too when I was at the Vegas one, so.
Fair enough.
Well, thank you for joining us again, everybody. Until next time, stay frosty.